this is Telegram Views and welcome back to another review on the Arrow Season 8, Episode 8. And this is also the review for Legends of Tomorrow Season 5, Episode 1, sort of. But also, mainly, this does focus more on the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event. So that's pretty much where my focus will be going to. And yeah, so in the last big part of the Crisis, we saw everything destroyed except from the 7 people, or the 7 Paragons, the anti-monitor, I think, sort of. There was never really a clear answer about that one. And also, Jim Hagen, aka the original Spectre, I guess. And also Oliver Queen, who's now going to become the new, what do you call it? The new Spectre. So let's get into this one. Let's go. So we start this episode off, or the Arrow episode off, which is part 4, and we start off to see that Ryan Choi, basically the new Atom, basically saying what has happened over the past month, which is that the Flash has gone missing, which we'll find out later that he's basically gone into a speed force, while Canary's just given up. John Jones has just been meditating, which I guess he's been trying to search for other souls in the being or the multiverse without going outside, because otherwise he would be dead. Batwoman just spends all the time just training. Supergirl don't really know what she does. Lex Luthor, he is building a device to get out the vanishing point. So then, Flash just come back and he says that he has to get back because otherwise there is nothing out there. And yeah, so after he basically fights the team, they set up their device and it explodes. So then, the Spectre comes in and unlocks the Flash's full potential, and he tells Barry that there's 2 things he had to do. One had to stop the monitor from actually going to see the anti-monitor, and 3, they also need to go into Speed Force to unlock memories and bonds. And I'll talk about what bit should I talk about first? I think I'll talk about the Speed Force scenes first. So Batwoman, she wakes up and she's seen Oliver Queen talking to Ray Palmer, and she's seen that she's basically Oliver Queen, but girl version, a lesbian and all that, and she finally realised that she needs to trust people to basically be able to win the day, and that's her moment. For Sarah, she's dead after the season 3 battle against Roy, and yeah, she wakes up because of Barry. John Jones goes to see Oliver Queen and Kara in the Invasion crossover. And then we see Barry. Now, his one is a very interesting one. So he wakes up and he's talking to Oliver when he first met him in the his Arrow TV show. Then he goes and sees the movie Flash. So I don't think I've really explained this one too well, but basically somehow he was able to get there, and so I'm guessing it's either the Ezra Miller's Flash has either never it's been set before Crisis, or it has or it's trying to get a name because he's never really been called the Flash in the movies. Then Barry goes off and goes to see Oliver and the Elseworlds crossover, and yeah, and that's when he realises that he has to get everyone, and he goes to Dawn of Time. But then he goes to get Supergirl, but I'll talk about her a little bit first. So Ryan Choi, Lex Luthor and Supergirl go to the monitor before we see what happened, which I'll quickly explain what happens first of all, which was right at the beginning of the episode, now I'm only talking about it now. But basically, he was doing an experiment to see Dawn of Time, but then the experiment went wrong, and he went up to see the anti-monitor, and that's pretty much where the entire multiverse began. So it really does bring up the question. It brings us so many questions, but there's not as many questions as in part 5. So then Lex Luthor betrays them and takes them all down, and he goes to tell the monitor that he's from the future and he needs to stop what he's doing, so that he can take over the world. And it's a pretty interesting thing, but it shouldn't really happen, I guess, because it's just so confusing. Yeah, so then Supergirl goes talk to or fights Lex Luthor now because he has powers. Ryan Choi talks the Monitor out of like not going to it. So then they're all at the dawn of time fighting shadow demons. They don't really look like shadow demons really. Well, I don't really know what they look like. I'm mostly like, reading the comic now. I'm thinking about doing it for a read-through series, but that could be an interesting thing to do. But yeah, so they're all fighting. Now, one thing I really do like this fight. The only problem I had with it is John Jones not using his full potential. He was on the ground in his disguise form, fighting everyone, and this is like the most annoying part about it. He should have been John Jones flying around like laser beams, like mind control stuff like that. And but I will admit it was a brilliant fight. Yeah. So when the Spectre comes down and he fights him, he basically blows him out the universe, and basically stops the entire multiverse from happening. So guess that Lex Luthor shouldn't really be there then. But then Oliver Queen says his famous line saying, "Anit-monitor, or no, Mabavu, you have failed this universe," and yeah. It was just like the I Am Iron Man scene from Endgame. It was brilliant. Oh wow. Then Oliver Queen dies and Barry takes Sarah up to see him for his final few moments. And I thought this scene was really well done, as we see the brand new universe coming down to be created, and that's where we end this episode off. So for part 5, I'll also be doing this part in this one just because it's basically a 2-part finale, so I guess I'll just do it now. I will be putting the... I know that it might be a bit confusing as I'm putting it in 3 different playlists, but you know, I'll do it. I'll do it with the hate comments when I actually get famous. So start this episode off with Supergirl waking up, and we see like a season 1 annex, but then we see the Dreamer. And yeah, so it's sort of like combining everything like from like past seasons into one. I might go make a video about this, about what sort of timeline they've like had so far. But basically, Supergirl goes to see who's getting the Peace Award, and it turns out to be none other than Lex Luthor. So the only reason why is because in this new world, Lex Luthor has done some stuff, and it does look a bit interesting for the Supergirl side with the trailer, for the trailer for next week's episode. And Lex Luthor is saying that basically she can't that she can't blame him for a crime he did in a alternate timelines, I guess. Hang on, does the multiverse still exist then? Like in the past? This is so damn confusing. I hate it now. But yeah, so then there's a bit of trouble happening. Turns out to be the Well Witch from the Flash. Supergirl also goes to stop it, but then the Flash turns up. Everybody thinks like they're on different Earths, and it's a pretty good scene. And then yeah, so it gets a bit more confusing. I'll just go for what I can remember. I don't know if it's in the right order. But Nash gets taken to Star Labs to be treated. Meanwhile, John Jones is going around everywhere to like fix everything, and yeah. So John is waking everybody up with mind melting. Don't know if I said that, but still, yeah. And he was able to give Nash Wells his memory back. So I guess that's his, because the showrunner did say that he's gonna have an emotional run back this season. So I guess that's his emotional thing, that he's gonna be the one to like really feel the effects of Crisis, and I think that's actually a really good way to go about it. But the only problem is how they're going to introduce the new Harrison Wells for next season. So then there's a big crime downtown, and everybody shows up. The Flash, Supergirl, some legends, and turns out it's Bebo. So then Mick Roy comes out after he's a self-publisher again, and he tries to burn him for basically ruin his little gig. But at the same time, also the Team Arrow knows about what happened in Crisis because of John, and they was able to stop him because it was just a distraction due to another villain who was like from a 40s comic, I heard, and it was a good scene, I guess. But then it turns out that the Monitor is still alive, and he's been trying to attack all the Paragons one by one. Now this bit would have been a little bit better if this had a better impact on. It does do more episodes on the aftermath of the crisis, but I can get away with that. And so yeah, now this bit I didn't really like it too much. I mean, I like it, but they should have had more heroes. They was only missing like the legends. I think there was only a few. Vibe and yeah, that was all of them. Oh, Black Canary, I guess. There's none from Supergirl. Oh, Elongated Man, but yeah, they could have used those against the Monitor. I think that would have been an amazing way to end off this amazing event. But yeah, so they're all fighting him. He grows like giant size, or giant man size, and the Atom builds a shrinking bomb, basically shrinks him to the single atom. And then we get a scene from Oliver Queen saying that basically in the beginning, or basically going over the Monitor's line from the beginning of the crossover, and we see the new multiverse. So on Earth 2 we got the Stargirl TV show, which I'll be trying to review as soon as possible, as soon as it comes out. A few other Earths were... Earth 12 was the Green Lantern Earth, but no one knows if it's the movie one or the TV show one. Earth 21 is the Doom Patrol. Earth, I was really happy about that, because it was one of my favourite DC shows, and it still is now, or it always was, but I'm really excited for season 2. Titans is Earth 9. We've got to see the Kingdom Come Superman, but he's returned back to his normal state. Earth 19 was what do you call him? Swamp Thing. So I'm happy about that. I really would like to see like more cameos from this scene. Like, it would have been a good scene to have more cameos. And yeah, so that was probably, like, I'll say he's like one of the best parts of the Arrowverse, and also the DC universe. So does this bring up like loads of questions? Oh yeah. Also, this all made Justice League. The problem I have with this little scene is that basically they're setting up to be a Justice League, but in theory, it's not really going to be a Justice League. They're hinting at it, but it's not really going to be it, and nobody knows it. But yeah, it was a cool scene. So it does bring up like, so they do have 7 seats. Also, Arrow has a seat, but did they have a star for the table? I would have thought like they would have given it to like an Arrow. Yeah, I think that would have made a bit more sense. So good things was pretty much everything. Bad things is that it should have had more heroes and more cameos. But other than that, I really did enjoy this one. Yeah. So that's it for today, guys. If there's one, please share, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Goodbye, yo. Bye.